Welcome back to Respoiled. Today, I have another captivating story to share with you. But before we dive in, if you're new here, I invite you to subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications, so you'll never miss out on all of my latest uploads. Now let's get started. In Mexican desert, a man digs through debris and uncovers a hidden hole with a Nazi flag wrapped around a spearhead. When he touches it, a dark force possesses him, causing his body to move uncontrollably. While crossing the road, he's hit by a car, which then gets smashed. A strange symbol appears on his wrist, but he continues as if unaffected. Meanwhile, in a Los Angeles apartment, a mother opens a door to find her daughter snarling on the ceiling, prompting the family to seek help. Father Hennessy calls John Constantine, a supernatural expert skilled in exorcisms and demonology, known for his chain-smoking habit. John locates the possessed girl restrained on her bed and opens a window, allowing sunlight to enter, much to the girl's dismay. Applying an amulet to her forehead, it burns her skin, prompting her to convulse and scream as John recites the incantation. Abruptly, she ceases movement, but a sinister creature emerges from her neck, attacking John. Reacting swiftly, he strikes it, repelling the creature. Requesting a mirror from the family, he positions it above the girl while breaking a window and instructing his apprentice Chaz to move the car. Securing the mirror to a pulley, he advises everyone to close their eyes, yet one man peeks, resulting in him screaming as his hair turns gray. In a struggle with the possessed girl, John compels the demon within her to gaze upwards, and the mirror swiftly extracts the creature from her, ensnaring it. Despite the demon's efforts to shatter the mirror, John applies pressure on the rope, causing it to topple onto the car, shattering into countless pieces. Exiting, John notices a depiction of the fabled Spear of Destiny, which he appropriates, unaware of a watcher above toying with a coin. Feeling wary, John confides in Hennessy about the exorcism's unusual intensity, sensing impending significant events. That night, Detective Angela awakens in a hospital bed, hearing a whisper of Isabel in the room, prompting her to investigate on the hospital roof. After discarding her medical tag and watching it drift away, she leaps through the glass roof, landing in the hospital pool. Angela awakens in her apartment, realizing it was merely a dream. The following day, she's summoned to the hospital for an investigation and is distraught to discover that her vision from the previous night was real. The deceased is her twin sister, Isabel, who passed away exactly as Angela dreamt. Although Isabel was institutionalized as a mental patient, Angela remains adamant that her sister didn't take her own life. Meanwhile, in Mexico, the man wielding the spear executes a tremendous leap to cross the border, resulting in the instantaneous demise of all nearby animals. In John's apartment, he vomits blood in the sink, prompting him to seek medical attention. Regrettably, he receives devastating news. His smoking habits have led to lung cancer, leaving him with little time. Later, at home, John is visited by Beeman, who brings a collection of supernatural items for John's missions, including a gun that shoots dragon breath. John informs Beeman about the demon's attempt to breach into the human realm, an occurrence that defies demonological norms. Beeman pledges to investigate further. Subsequently, John visits a church where he encounters Angela, leading to a brief dispute over their arrival times. Angela discusses Isabel's funeral arrangements with a priest, seeking a Catholic service, but the priest refuses due to Isabel's self-deletion, deemed a mortal sin. Simultaneously, John encounters the half-breed angel Gabriel and perceives his wings, visible only to humans with specific abilities. Inquiring if God can prolong his life, John receives only laughter from Gabriel, who doubts John's aspirations for heaven. John contends that banishing numerous demons back to hell should compensate for his sins, but Gabriel clarifies that genuine self-sacrifice and faith are the sole avenues to heaven. As John's altruistic acts were motivated by convenience rather than genuine compassion, they hold no merit. Meanwhile, Hennessy focuses intently, scanning through newspapers and discerning the articles mentally. Eventually, he zeroes in on an article discussing Isabel's demise, sensing significance in it. Simultaneously, Angela views the footage of Isabel's demise and hears her utter John's name. Suddenly, all the phones in the building ring simultaneously, but there are no responses when Angela answers them. Later, John suffers a coughing fit in the street and collapses. A crab materializes on his hand, and as someone approaches, John is unexpectedly assaulted by a demon swathed in insects. Recoiling from a powerful blow, John inadvertently drops his weapon box, forcing him to contend with the demon's grip as it attempts to strangle him. Employing a fragment of a sign, John strikes the demon to repel it and retrieves the box, but before he can open it, the demon strikes again. After a struggle, they careen down the street until John discards the box, allowing a car to collide with the demon, ending its life. Next, John crushes any remaining insects underfoot. Following this, John and Chaz head to Midnight's nightclub, a hub for the supernatural. At the entrance, a test determines if visitors can perceive the drawing on a card. John gains entry, but Chaz is denied due to his lack of power. Inside, revelers indulge in debauchery, but John bypasses them to reach the back room, where he encounters the proprietor, Papa Midnight. Midnight, a potent occultist, opts for neutrality in the celestial conflict between heaven and hell, unlike John. John recounts his encounter with the attacking demon, but Midnight doubts him, citing the mutually agreed upon rules that prevent pure demons from roaming Earth. Their conversation is interrupted by the half-breed demon Balthazar, who toys with a coin as he taunts John. In response to John's threat, Midnight interjects, reminding them that his club does not tolerate hostility. During another coughing fit, John abruptly exits. Later, Angela visits John, seeking his assistance in Isabel's case, suspecting foul play in her sister's self-deletion. John dismisses her theory, attributing it to Angela's desire for Isabel's redemption. However, when he notices shadows trailing Angela, he pursues her, considering a possible connection to recent demonic activity. Angela, skeptical of demons, witnesses the lights dimming around them, except for a Mary statue in a nearby display window. John identifies the eerie sounds as those of flying creatures while producing a piece of fabric. As he ignites it with a divine glow, he exposes the demons encircling them, reducing them to ashes instantly. Overwhelmed by the sulfur stench, Angela vomits, prompting John to note that the demons target her, not him. Agreeing to take Angela's case, John resolves to visit Hell to ascertain if Isabel resides there, signaling her genuine self-deletion. At Angela's apartment, he immerses his feet in a basin of water, which will serve as a conduit, urging Angela to depart before seizing her cat, as felines possess a link to the supernatural. By gazing into the cat's eyes, John establishes a connection, causing time to freeze around him before he materializes in Hell. Armed with holy water for protection, John traverses the infernal landscape, disregarding the ferocious winds, demonic entities, and tormented souls until he locates Isabel perched on the precipice of a structure. Surrounded by demons, Isabel utters John's name and removes her medical tag, prompting John to pursue it. While Isabel descends, the demons pursue John, leaping to assail him. Once he retrieves the tag, John shatters a bottle of holy water on his chest, transporting back to Isabel's apartment, emitting smoke from his entire body. Returning the tag to Angela, John confirms Isabel's self-deletion and her consequent damnation. Meanwhile, Hennessy infiltrates the morgue to locate Isabel's body. Attempting to glean her memories by grasping her arm, a sinister mark suddenly manifests on her wrist, causing Hennessy to recoil in terror. Frightened, he endeavors to drink from his flask, but no liquid emerges. Discovered by a guard, Hennessy flees to a store, frantically attempting to imbibe from any available alcohol bottle, all in vain. After shattering numerous bottles, Hennessy collapses once more, struggling to breathe. With his final breath, he employs a bottle opener to etch on his hand. Balthazar suddenly appears, toying with his coin, relishing in Hennessy's slow demise. It's revealed that he created an illusion, making the priest believe there was no liquid, while in reality, Hennessy chokes on a substantial amount of it. Meanwhile, John elucidates to Angela that from a young age, he possessed the ability to perceive various supernatural beings. When his parents, unsure of what to do, sent him to a mental institution for treatment, it exacerbated his condition. Feeling frightened and ostracized, young John attempted self-deletion and was clinically dead for 2 minutes. Yet, time in Hell passed much slower, making it feel like an eternity. Although paramedics revived him, this experience led John to acknowledge the reality of his visions. Aware that his soul is destined for hell due to his grave sin, he endeavors to exorcise demons in hopes of redemption. Heaven and hell engage in a wager over humanity's souls, employing half-breeds like Gabriel and Balthazar to influence people positively or negatively. Their discussion is cut short when Angela receives news of Hennessy's demise, prompting John and Angela to rush to the scene. John observes a bloody mark resembling the symbols seen on Isabel and the man from Mexico. Hennessy left it for him. After duplicating it, John sends it to Beeman for analysis. Later, they visit Isabel's hospital room, where John, frustrated, urges Angela to recall any potential clues. Angela recollects a childhood method of secret communication and breathes on the window, revealing the cryptic message, Corinthians 17, which seems out of place. As they depart, they contact Beeman, who elaborates that the Hell Bible contains additional verses compared to the conventional Bible. Corinthians 17 references Mammon, the devil's offspring, destined to plunge humanity into eternal darkness. Mammon's insignia matches the mark on Hennessy's hand. Mammon seeks to usurp Lucifer's authority, requiring a potent psychic and a divine entity. Beeman's speech falters as he senses impending danger, abruptly ending the call before insects emerge from his eyes. Concerned, John and Angela rush to Beeman's location, but arrive too late, discovering him deceased and infested with insects. Meanwhile, the man with the spearhead hijacks a car and heads toward Los Angeles. Angela confides in John, revealing that she and Isabel also had supernatural experiences as children. However, when Isabel received treatment for her mental health issues, Angela began to deny their shared reality, eventually ceasing to experience anything herself. Now haunted by guilt for abandoning her sister, Angela implores John to help her regain her ability to see. John agrees and prepares a bath, instructing Angela to submerge herself. Despite her struggles and dwindling breath, John holds her underwater until she ultimately drowns. Time seems to slow before returning to normal in an instant. During this brief moment, Angela manages to journey to hell and reclaim her abilities. Sensing a disturbance, she hurries to Beeman's office, discovering Balthazar's coin. Shortly after, Balthazar stands before a mirror in his own office, only to witness it erupting under the power of John's dragon breath gun. Although the flames fail to harm him, a splash of holy water causes him agony, prompting him to retaliate by pinning John against the wall, throttling him. In the struggle, John drops the dragon's breath gun but retrieves brass knuckles adorned with crosses, pummeling Balthazar and forcing him onto a nearby table. Asserting his dominance, John brandishes a Bible, threatening to bless Balthazar instead of exorcising him, thus condemning him to heaven. Filled with fear, Balthazar reveals Mammon's dire need for the Spear of Destiny to enter the human realm. In a chilling twist, Angela emerges behind John, prompting Balthazar's sinister laughter as he discloses his scheme to bring Angela to them. Reacting swiftly, John shoots him down. After their departure, a mysterious entity looms over the fallen Balthazar. Pleading for revival after completing his mission, the demon is met with silent observation as he disintegrates. As they depart, Angela discerns that Isabel's self-deletion prevented the demons from exploiting her to summon Mammon. Now deceased, they target Angela instead. Suddenly gripped by a strange sensation, Angela is pulled through the elevator door in multiple walls. John leaps through the apertures in pursuit, but Angela is whisked away into the sky beyond his reach. Desperate, John storms the club, demanding answers from Midnight, who responds by magically pinning him against the wall. Writhing in agony, John emphasizes the breakdown of rules, prompting Midnight to agree to assist. In the storage, they retrieve a chair used for executions. John removes his shoes and, after wetting the floor, Midnight electrocutes him with a bulb. This induces a vision revealing the man with the spear heading to the hospital, where demons possessing humans are amassing. Despite a demon's attempt to attack John, Midnight swiftly removes him from harm's way. Later, Chaz readies special bullets for John and unveils a surprise plan. Meanwhile, Angela is deposited at the hospital pool, encountering the man with the spearhead. Though she fires at him until her ammunition is depleted, it proves futile, and he drags her underwater. Shortly after, John and Chaz also arrive at the hospital. Chaz blesses the water tank with a holy cross while John locates the demons, triggering the sprinklers by placing a lighter near the fire alarm. Holy water pours down, weakening the demons, prompting John to shoot them down. Despite some demons attempting to retaliate, John eliminates them, exhausting his ammunition. Fortunately, Chaz arrives to help, finishing off the remaining creatures. They then search for Angela, who is being drowned by the man from Mexico. As she is pulled into hell, Angela hears her name whispered by Mammon, who swiftly attacks her. Meanwhile, John discovers the man's lifeless body in the pool room. Suddenly, the water begins to boil, and a possessed Angela emerges. Despite this, John refuses to harm her. A struggle ensues as John attempts to exorcise her, but Angela drags him underwater in an attempt to drown him. Chaz promptly intervenes, aiding John in restraining Angela on the floor. As John begins reciting the incantation, Angela resists, but she abruptly returns to her normal state. However, the ordeal is far from over. Mammon is attempting to emerge from her stomach. This time, both John and Chaz join in the incantation, and after considerable effort, Mammon appears to vanish. Suddenly, Chaz is violently thrown back, colliding with the ceiling and succumbing to instant death. Enraged, John aligns the tattoos on his arms and recites an incantation to unveil whatever lurks in the room. The ceiling seemingly parts, and Gabriel descends upon John, revealing himself as the divine entity aiding Mammon's arrival. Gabriel argues that it's unjust for heinous individuals, like mass murderers, to simply repent and gain access to heaven. He aims to bring Mammon to instigate widespread suffering, believing that only those who endure such torment will be deserving of heaven. With a gust of wind, Gabriel propels John into a glass door and seizes the spear to commence the ritual. In a desperate bid to thwart him, John appeals to God and uses glass shards to initiate self-deletion. Time halts abruptly, and Gabriel and Lucifer materialize, as John is the sole soul Lucifer is permitted to claim. John elucidates Mammon's imminent arrival and its disruption of Hell's agenda, prompting Lucifer to detonate another door to verify John's claim. As Gabriel prepares to execute the ritual, Lucifer whisks Angela away just as time resumes and the spear descends. The water's reflection reveals Lucifer holding Mammon above Angela, asserting his dominance to Gabriel. Gabriel attempts to assail Lucifer but finds himself powerless, abandoned by God. Seizing control, Lucifer banishes Mammon back to hell, searing Gabriel's wings before hurling him into the pool. With the ordeal concluded, Lucifer offers John a life extension as gratitude for forewarning him about Mammon. Yet, John's request is to send Isabel's soul to heaven, which Lucifer grants with a single gesture. Subsequently, Lucifer attempts to claim John's soul, but an unseen force intervenes, indicating that John's sacrifices have liberated him from Hell's clutches. John's soul ascends towards the heavenly light while defiantly gesturing at Lucifer, who, unwilling to lose his favored soul, intervenes by removing John's cancer and prolonging his life, hoping for future transgressions. Afterwards, John retrieves the spearhead and ensures Angela's safety. Gabriel, now human, seeks vengeance, offering John a gun, but John chooses mercy, opting to spare him and leave him to grapple with his newfound humanity. Bid Angela farewell on the rooftop, entrusting her with the spear for safekeeping. Instead of a cigarette, he opts for gum. Later, at Chaz's grave, John witnesses his transformation into an angelic being. Don't forget to like, subscribe and enable notifications for more content like this. Thank you for watching.